For All Nerd Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/ForAllNerds.
You are now listening to Castle Black, the blackest House of Dragon podcast in all the realms.
Castle Black. So this is the seat of the Night's Watch.
And welcome, internets, to another episode of Castle Black, the blackest Game of Thrones podcast in all the realms, powered by ForAllNerds, where we discuss everything in the world of Game of Thrones from the perspective of people of color. And it is one of your hosts, Tatiana King, also known as Lord of Lightsabers, Lotto Hightower, Sir Gawain's World, It Was All a Dream Fire, Tatiana Hand of the King, Kodak Blackwoods, Tatiana the Kingslayer, and the Ting of the North. And I am back from Dorne, by the way. Had a fabulous time over there. Great. Loved it. Thank you. I missed you guys. But we are now back. The trio's back together. Reintroducing once again, Mr. Benha of the Means.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, DJ Benhameen, a.k.a. Benha of the Means, a.k.a. Sir Christian Cold as Ice, the Grand Maester of Munch. A man has no shame. Bent off that Alicent. Shorty got low going. Biggie Smallfolk. What's Bracken? Little Orphan Allen. Killer Beesberry. The Off-White Worm. Spin the block on Castle Rock. And who wants that sea smoke?
Oh my God, that lowborn one was hilarious. Great job.
Thank you very much.
And as always, the person who knows too much herself, Porshea the Maester. Please introduce you.
Hi everyone, it's Porshea, aka the Maester of Green Dreams, aka Lady Mary Jane of Highgarden, aka Bela, the Targaryen princess. Just mind your business, aka call me Smoke C because I'm trying to get chose, aka don't be fooled by the dragons that I got. I'm still Adam from the block.
That was cute, Porshea.
Wow.
That was super cute.
Amazing.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Y'all are back with us talking about House of the Dragon season 2. We are now talking about episode 7. For me, probably one of the funniest episodes of House of Dragon I've ever watched for various reasons. I call this episode an army of bastards for obvious choices made. Benhameen and Porshea, I don't even know where to start with all this shit. Like, just first of all, this is the second to last episode of this season. There's only 8 episodes this season, okay? Which is a departure from last time, which was 10 episodes. So I was already pissed about that. I'm like, how they intend to do this? And then there's still obviously a lot more story to go, but how they gonna wrap this up? I don't know. Say something, please help me.
We got to start with Adam. We got to start with, Adam from the block.
Oh my God.
I got an interesting point to make, and I think I want to ask Porshea about this, because I was reading this week about how people talk about Aegon has the biggest connection with his dragon. And also, that's another side story that Aegon's dragon, Sunfire, right, still might be alive.
Mm-hmm.
But they had like the best connection of any, dragon riders, is what it said in the books, I guess, or whatever. But I have to contend that Adam might have an even more real connection with Seasmoke than any other of them, because this Negro don't even speak the language, and he managed to get this dragon to fly around with him and do whatever, and he got it over the Dragonstone, et cetera, et cetera. So I think Adam got the biggest connection with the dragon right now.
Absolutely agree with you. Seasmoke sought him out, right?
Mhm.
And not to say that dragons don't do that, but I ain't never heard no dragon looking for the rider or looking for somebody to bond with, right? And they kept talking about, Masari and a few people were talking about how Seasmoke is lonely and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, Seasmoke's the emo dragon. So, for him to like want to find, and gotta be somebody colored as well. Like, so it was important to him. So I do think they have probably the strongest connection, because there ain't no way. Because these dragons will light you up and spit you out in a moment's notice. So for all of that to occur, I do think that. I think when it comes to Aegon and Sunfire, they have a very close relationship, but I also feel like it's more like of a Chihuahua owner type of situation. Like Sunfire, we kept saying Sunfire's like a show dog. It's just like, oh, everything's cute, he. So, and they're both like little like immature kids, Aegon and Sunfire. So it's just like I just see them bonding over that. But like on some real shit, I do think Adam and Cecil may have a stronger connection.
Mm-hmm. Fully agree.
I don't know if like maybe the strength is like measured by like easiest dragon, like the best connection where the dragon rider and the dragon actually communicate to each other. It's not just one of them making the decision and the other one being like, okay, I guess we're doing this now. Like it's kind of like, oh, like we're gonna go to the left. Yeah, I want to go to the left too. Okay, like we're good, kind of thing. But I think maybe be the Sunfire connection. I feel like Sunfire generally is just like of the dragons that we hear about. He is was hatched with Aegon, as was Rhaenyra's dragon, as was I want to say Daemon's dragon too. Like those are the dragon riders who's like they had the egg in their crib and then it hatched.
Okay.
And then they grew up with the dragon. Like Dreamfire, who is
who's Dreamfire person? Is that Bela?
No, what is homegirl? Like I know her name. She's Helena's.
Helena.
Helena's dragon was actually someone else's dragon before. It was like she inherited Dreamfire, right? Like somebody else had like Vhagar is a dragon that most people had before it got to Aemon, right? So like depending on those relationships, like who grew up with the dragon, who kind of like that kind of like plays a tone. I think that Seasmoke, because he had Lena before, like Lena had the same relationship with Seasmoke that Rhaenyra has with Syrax, like grew up egg in the crib kind of thing. And so may have possibly had a similar connection as those other people who grew up with the dragon with the egg in their crib did. But Seasmoke, I think for me, Seasmoke just shows that he's not like bowing to like high Valyrian commands to like decide who's going to be his rider. Like he's like he's very independent, like all the dragons are, and he's like I have agency and I'm going to pick who I get to go with. So since Adam doesn't know high Valyrian, like that is a very strong kind of like thought, because like Seasmoke really did be like, hey, what's up? And he was like, oh, you're scared? I'm sorry, let me back off a little bit. Like we're riding, we're riding. And
we're
so
together.
They understand each other's language in a way that like I don't know that we're gonna see happen again with other people who haven't grown up with their dragons. So that's an interesting kind of component of it all.
It's a unique relationship, and it's something what you're talking about also, Portia, just alludes to like what Mysaria had said to Rhaenyra this episode, which was like everything's changed. Like all the, some of the old ways, the old traditions, all this stuff, everything you thought is out the window now. Your own brothers is your own half brothers, your own pure blood brothers is against you, right? Once you down for the count. Whereas you have people coming out the woodworks trying to, literally coming out the woodworks with dragons trying to be on your side. So like, you just have to understand like shit has changed. And again, just the way I just was laughing in a good way. I was just laughing this entire episode, just how like from the beginning, the pull up where Rhaenyra stood 10 toes and was just like, where you stay at? Who your grandmama and them? Who are you? Where do you be at? Like that whole thing was, which I liked, because it's like you can't just accept someone who comes in on a dragon, right? Like, who is this? Where you come from? Can I trust you? So I like that whole stare down. And then the fact that their dragons were just mirroring their feelings and emotions and behaviors, the whole stare down and the whole like, any minute now somebody gonna get popped if someone make the wrong move. Like I like that. I thought that was realistic, if you will, right? And then here come Adam. Adam's just like, I'm just happy to be here. He's just so thrilled to like his life is finally elevated. He's always wanted something more, and now he finally got it. And all that to say, does he still not know Corlys is his father?
No, he's been known Corlys as his father.
Or he knows and is just keeping it.
He was covering for Corlys. He was like,
he's been keeping it.
My father's better not mentioned.
I know Alan was, but Adam too?
No, they both know. Yeah, they talked about it in the earlier episode. Adam talked about how Corlys never pays him no mind because he doesn't have white hair. But he knows he's his father. But it's because he doesn't have white hair that Corlys has given him absolutely no love. even though he's giving Alan pretty much no love. It's just, levels to the no love.
Right. You get a little
Yeah.
bit of love, but no love.
I can't say a little bit. Corliss is the fucking worst, man. I say this
good
week
job.
after week. Week after week, he becomes weaker and weaker in my
It's
eyes.
like deeper levels to like how crappy. Like you're like, okay, so you're a bad grandfather, bad father,
Corliss
like bad
ain't shit.
lover to the queen. Like what are you loyal to? What do you actually care about? Like besides
Solvency.
shits?
Yeah,
Corliss-
solvency.
Corliss ain't shit. And so why does he still not tell the council or anybody who they actually are, who Adam and Alan are? They were like, the council is losing their mind talking about the lowborn this, the lowborn that, these niggas coming out everywhere. And Corliss is just sitting there like, I guess so. Like, he's not like owning up to anything. And why is that? At this point, Rhaenys is dead. Like, what do you have to lose at this point? I'm not understanding his motivation for not saying anything.
His motivation is he's a bitch. That's his motivation. Corliss is weak. His whole motivation is based on being soft. Like, that's all there is to it. Like, he just doesn't. He has no strength. He has no character. I've lost all respect for Corliss.
I just feel like, why would he? Like, I feel like he's such an idiot. But if he were to admit what he's done, it would lose favor in his the eyes of the council, and him being the hands, like being rightful for the role of hands, because he's supposed to be this like honorable like house like person or whatever, like not from the old Valyria like route, but still, you know what I mean? Like they try, everyone who has blood of old Valyria has to hold themselves as if they're above the Westerosi, and it's like.
But this holier than thou act is stupid. These are all men at the end of the day.
Yeah,
every single last one of them got bastards or be fucking around. So I don't understand.
Yeah. And beyond that, this nigga barely got chose. Like he only became hand of the king because there was nobody else around.
Right.
Like they were like, no, break Corliss. No, it was like, oh, fuck.
Like at this point, who cares? Like,
but also,
that's my picking them. Like, who cares? Like. Who gonna say something at this point? I feel
like he's like, it's kind of calculating in a way because he wants to. He's like, I want to see what happens when I don't say something.
Oh,
like I just want to see where this goes.
What a loser!
Yeah, I think that's loser behavior. I don't like that.
Yeah, straight up loser behavior.
I don't mess with that.
But I love that Adam knew how to talk to the queen when the queen stepped to him. Mm-hmm. Like I love that he was like, "Yo, I'm in the God service. I got chosen by a God to be here. I'm just going to move as the movement is telling me to move." And I love that Rhaenyra responded accordingly. She was like, I did not think, this is not a possibility that I ever thought of. When she said she thought it was impossible. Like, you see her kind of go to, like, you can see her younger self in her for a second, where she's just like sometimes, like, hope really takes us to our youth, where it's like, I did not hope after Sir Darkland that I could ever make this thing become a reality. And now I'm like, wait a minute, I can have dragon riders. Like, it's a hope that she didn't even think she could hold anymore. And I love that like whole conversation. And it's like to me, this, in my brain, I called it like a dragon meet. And I think it was also really important for us as an audience to see, because Lenore and Rhaenyra are around the same age, that their dragons are around the same size, around the same age too. So now we know kind of like to scale what Rhaenyra's kind of like dragon guard is going to look like, because we know like, okay, Sea Smoke is about the same size as Syrax.
Right.
We know that Silverwing and Vermithor are older and therefore bigger, but Silverwing is smaller than Vermithor. So, like, we know this scale of like, okay, if we get these dragons up and running, what does like Rhaenyra's firepower look like against, we know, the might of Vhagar?
Absolutely.
On the side over there.
Absolutely. And to what you were saying just about how you like how they talk to each other and pulled up on each other, you know, I do appreciate characters that just say what it is up front. Like, I hate in stories when, like, the character is being, like, coy or shy or leaves important information out, and then the misunderstanding happens, and then you go through all this nonsense. I just like how Adam was just like, bruh, this wasn't even my idea, okay? I just pulled up. Here I am. I'm here for you. And I also think it's interesting just that, like, throughout the few episodes, we keep seeing Rhaenyra talking about blood being too thin, or, you know, whether or not the person's really of Targaryen heritage and all the other stuff. Meanwhile, all these people are like, to me, like one person removed. Like, they're close. Like, they're not descendants from, 10 generations ago. They're right there. You know, they your uncle's children, or they this children, that children. So it's like the answer has been, it's been very obvious too, but the answer has been in front of us with all of these people, right? You see it with your boy, Ben, the Hugh the Hammer, the blacksmith. You saw it with, and it's so funny that we kept getting them confused. Ulf, the loudmouth, drunk. Like, you see these obvious choices coming in front of you, and then now it all comes to a head where they actually are related, and they do have that true Valyrian magic, whatever you want to call it.
I gotta say, let's see, there's a couple things. One, I just thought the whole fact that it ends up being Olaf and the Hammer.
Not Olaf.
Is it
It's Ulf. It's Ulf, but who's Olaf in Frozen, right?
Yeah, Olaf in Frozen. That's what it is. Yeah,
Olaf,
okay. Yeah, Ulf, not Ulf. Yeah, that's terrible. But
his name is Ulf.
Ulf, and what's the blacksmith's name?
Hugh the Hammer.
Hugh
Hammer.
Hammer.
Excuse me. Hugh Hammer.
Hugh Hammer. What a name. Straight porn star.
That's a blacksmith.
That's just straight porn star name right there.
Blacksmith bastard name.
Hugh Hammer, porn star name. But I just thought that it was kind of silly that those two do end up being the dragons. I wish they'd given us like at least one red herring that we've been following this whole season, so that someone gets cooked at the end, and we're like, damn, because it was like, oh no, we've been following these dudes the whole season. So
like, we knew.
Yeah, I needed one more character who doesn't, make it through this. Because I thought for a second that Ulf wasn't going to make it. Then I was like, oh, that's cool. That bitch nigga, been talking too much shit anyway.
It would be nice, because he was just like, because he even realized, he was just like, oh, I've been talking shit this whole time, and now I got to actually show up. And I'm just like, that would have been great. Yes, you said I agree. I would have liked a left turn, like it being Massaria or somebody else random. Granted, that's just ashes to the wind at this point, right? Like, because there's no way, but it's just like, it would have been nice to not do something so. And
not even like Massaria. I'm saying that they should have had one more character we've been following this whole time.
Thought might be the
someone we didn't.
Won't that be?
No, not like Massaria. Someone who we've been introduced to this season,
like a small.
We didn't know. Yeah, who we didn't know from before the season, and then we've been following their story, and then they get cooked this episode.
Okay, well, she's not Smallfolk, and she won't get cooked, hopefully. But I was thinking Rhaenyra, because remember, we do see Rhaenyra. She's still trying to get that dragon that's flying around at the Vale. Whoever the fuck that is. If she gets
cooked, I'm gonna be even more upset.
Which is crazy, but I'm just like,
in the show.
No reason, but that's what I say. I was just like, that's the only other person I was like, okay, I would like to see something happen to her, because like when she was 14, she tried this and failed, and now she's still wanted this her whole life, and now she's like, running after this ghost dragon.
I'm kind of upset that we didn't get a resolution to that storyline in this episode as well, in one way or another.
It's like, why did we see that again? Why did we see the burnt sheep again? Like, we seen that.
Yeah, we've seen this already. Yeah, and then her reaction was kind of weird too. It was like, you
just saw this, like,
and you went there to look for it, like you knew what you were.
We did this already, so I thought like we were gonna see more than that. It was just like, okay, she sees that as burnt sheep. Okay, she's gonna see the burnt sheep again. It's just like, now what, right? It's a waste.
And people pointed out that dragon's name is Sheep Stealer, and I also want to say to the comments who always do that, and it's great. I love y'all, but. Like, we're not reading the books. I'm not reading anything ahead of time, so
I'm not reading the books. Portia knows.
I wouldn't friggin' know this dragon's name is Sheep Stealer. I mean, I would call him Sheep Burner the way this nigga out, but whatever.
I'm gonna call him Lamb Chop.
He needs a thank you. That's better than Sheep Stealer. Lamb Chop. This man is like, in terms of dragon names, he is bottom of the barrel.
Right. That's George R.R. Martin, but like even with the Tullys, he just started naming them after different Muppets, from Sesame Street. Yeah, Oscar, Grover. Like that's the whole Tully line.
Is that really what it is? Yeah. I didn't even realize. Yes. Oh my god! And I made that connection. Like I was calling young Oscar the Grouch, but wow, dead ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oscar the Grouch.
George R. ain't shit, man.
No, he never been.
He lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Most writers are hey, slow down on that lazy shit.
He was calling homage to a cultural component of American life. Sure.
You gotta write a million names, fam. It don't matter. It's like it's a name of a character. What happens to the character is what matters.
I mean,
You know?
if you're gonna, it's fun to have a little scheme in there, and he did, pull from a fun place.
I'm not serious. I think it's funny. I also think it's lazy.
It's
I detest the
The
word.
man built a whole world with multiple.
All writing is
viewpoints.
difficult.
Yeah,
there ain't no such thing as lazy writing.
Okay,
Man.
all right, y'all in your feelings.
That.
Next,
I
we're
detest
talking
that.
about these small folk.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we move to off of into the small folk thing mostly. Like the way that Ulf got bullied into doing what he needed to do was hilarious to me.
Yes.
Like the tavern scene felt so real. Like it felt like an actual conversation that would happen. So you ready to go now, right? Like they said they calling for all the bastards, and you just number one bastard in King's Landing, right? And he was like, I'm actually not sure. Oh, you gotta be sure because you had all these free drinks.
Straight
up,
up,
mouth like that.
That's the nigga who is sitting in the bar every day talking about he could beat Jordan, and then Jordan walks in the room, and it's like
game time.
We're talking about you could beat Serena with one hand.
Game time.
Yeah,
you could beat Serena with one hand. Here comes Serena. Like, come on.
That's the Atlanta episode where niggas like I'm gonna go race Michael Vick, and then got cooked by Michael Vick. No.
Yeah, I did. Back to what you were saying, Ben, about it being weird. Or maybe not upsetting, but being kind of corny that they got the dragons. Like, I mean, I feel less about it being corny about the blacksmith, but it's really corny about Ulf for me because it's just like, you really don't deserve this. And it's just like the most undeserved. He stepped on an egg. I thought it was when Ulf was down there, he either stepped in dragon shit or an egg. And I'm like, bro, you killed another dragon?
Yeah.
I didn't see that there was an egg, but maybe I wasn't looking too close. I saw the lava little thing, and I wasn't sure what was happening. I was like,
I saw the little.
It looked a little yolky. It looked a little eggy.
But even the shell, it looked like a little bit of the shells you've seen. I don't know,
But if it was a yolk, then it probably wasn't a viable egg. It's probably like a.
Either way,
the man don't deserve it. His first step in that chamber was in dragon dung, though. Like it definitely was.
Okay, so it's dung. Okay,
so he stepped in shit. I get it.
Okay.
But he don't deserve this shit. So and it's just like out of anybody it could have been, it's you. And then like it was funny seeing him flying over King's Landing because it's just like it was just wild. It was just like here is the most left field person you could think of, and he gets to fucking joyride over King's Landing and do all this stuff. And
his first ride on a dragon is, but why would you fly? Like, there's so much.
I think Rhaenyra told him to, right?
Rhaenyra
told him to do that.
That whole scene is ridiculous, though.
It's ridiculous.
I get it for the Avengers Assemble ending.
Yeah,
and I was sitting there cheering. I can't lie. I was like, "That's
good."
But the lead up to it is so utterly ridiculous because like you just said. That means Rhaenyra had to tell this nigga she don't know from shit. Go fly over there. Hope nothing happens to your ass.
Right,
and then come back over here so we can have this great shot of all of us lined up. Like, and he manages to land on the castle in the background. It was just so ridiculous.
Silverwing is beautiful, though. I love as a dragon design. Like, you know how all the dragons have different looks and feels and all that stuff. I do like as a design component, like it's
I fuck with Vermithor, boy. Vermithor is my new nigga.
Vermithor is crazy.
Vermithor is beautiful.
Insane.
Beautiful dragon. That
insane. I feel like Q had the more like archetypal hero arc, where it's like to me it made like it was telegraphed, but it made sense still, right? He's this alleged honorable guy who's just trying to make the ends meet. He's trying to keep his daughter alive, which rest in peace, she passed apparently.
Grayscale.
Rhaenyra's food did not make it there in time. Like
Rhaenyra's food wasn't helping that black and white.
No,
he's trying to uplift his household. His wife's like, I don't give a shit about none of that. He's like, look, I'm trying, and then he stands up, right? And when I say like, first of all, that's one the dragons this season is the coldest things I've ever seen. When it comes to Game of Thrones, the way they've been doing, especially the scene with Vermithor. Ben, you mentioned it. We got to talk about that whole situation, the whole Jurassic Park, because I'm telling you, if you put shot for shot when Hugh was hiding behind that rock with that lady, with that other bastard, and you bring in the shot of the original Jurassic Park with a little white girl when they were trying to make her be quiet because the T-Rex was there, it's like almost bar for bar because when I say the way like the camera was panning back and forth and Vermithor stalking them, and then it's just like, you gotta be quiet, don't say nothing. Like, that shit was gold. I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
Yeah, there were. I mean, for me, there were so many moments in that sequence that were just so epic. Like Rhaenyra walking out and then turning her back on Vermithor, and Vermithor
Yes.
just behind her. Like that's an album cover.
She's a
The
G.
other shot when she puts her hand out and you get the side view of them both was just fucking incredible. And then like what were you saying?
How did you feel about the dragon keepers being like, we're not here, and like
I
Rhaenyra
felt how they
being
was
like,
feeling. I felt them, and then it also was like, who cares? We gonna
But
do what we gonna do.
once again, I fully agree with him, and it's not who cares because look, like I say, the shot was dope at the end, but what led Rhaenyra to get to that is going to be yet another part of her
It's gonna be
downfall.
her downfall. Yeah.
Yep, because she is choosing randos who she doesn't really know, who are going to have their own motivations and their own allegiances when it really comes down to it. Beyond that, she ain't got the people who, cultivate these dragons who have been doing this for how many thousands of years,
Centuries.
who are talking about the old magic of Valyria. They are like trying to save this shit, and you're just using it on some whatever. Like,
Right.
So
And I agree with you. It is for me. It's both. It's just like, in one way, it's kind of like get with the times, nigga. Like, all you're saying is valid, and all of how you move makes sense. At the same time, it's like, what the fuck else are we supposed to do? We need riders, we need dragons, we need a show of force. So this is like the last ditch effort. And at the same time, it's like you're sullying the traditions and the legends and all this other stuff. And really, to your point, the fact that you don't really know these people, and now like you're just trying to get them into the fold. So it's for me, it's both. It's just like, damn, I feel them. Like, I feel them feeling like, fuck this, we're not gonna be a part of it. And also, I'm just like, well, I don't know what else y'all gonna do, because she can't just sit here and do nothing. Like, she's just supposed to just hope for the best. Like, she has no moves. She even talks to Jace about it. She has no other moves. What the hell else is she supposed to do?
That's what I keep getting back to, though, and that's why I get why Rhaenyra does the things she does, but I feel like this Messiah complex, and it comes out in Jace this episode as well, is leading to a lot of fuckery, and it's going to lead to even more fuckery because you are unleashing nuclear weapons upon the world in order to, as she says, oh, when we show this up, they're going to get people. Nigga, what? No, that's not. Did Russia ever lay it down when America started building up a nuclear stockade? No. They found a way just like you did.
Right.
We already know that the Alicent's other son is now dragon riding age. So he's coming about. Sunfire might still be out there. We don't know, even now that you've given these dudes dragons, we don't know what their real allegiance will be in the long run. What happens when they get tested? You know what I mean? You don't know any of this stuff. And so all of this to gain the throne, it's like it becomes the Thanos situation. Was it worth it? It's like you're doing all of this, but was it worth it? And that's what I've been saying since the beginning of this. And that's why, to me, there had to have been another way, some type of slick move, send a faceless man, do something instead of, unleashing dragons upon the world.
Send a faceless man to who?
Alicent, Daemon, everybody, get all them niggas. I don't know, figure there's got blow them niggas up in the set, do other moves,
Do a Cersei. You want to do a Cersei?
Yeah, we've seen it done before. I just feel like Rhaenyra is and Jace is even worse. That little racist part. Let's talk about that, man.
Well, you think he's racist? That's hilarious.
The xenophobia in this whole episode.
He's xenophobic.
Those dragon keepers, freaking
no, he's xenophobic.
They are xenophobic.
They are. The dragon
he's not
keepers
racist. He's xenophobic.
No, he's racist.
What?
That
xenophobia is like racism by different
It's not because they black. Because first of all, a lot of these small folks is white. So
no, he was talking about Adam. He was talking about Adam when he called that nigga a mongrel.
But he was also talking about himself. He was also talking about himself because the way that Rhaenyra looked him in his face when he said mongrel, she was looking down. She looks up at his face when he said, she was like,
"Yeah,
I know you didn't say mongrel out your mouth."
But again,
Jace's issue. First of all, it's just like, why is you mad? Because this APB on bastards was your idea. Okay, but his issue
on bastards on the.
I know. I'm getting there. There. But what it really is he said he wanted the people in business class, not coach. He didn't mean any bastards. He was cool when it was highborn bastards, okay?
It wasn't
When I-
bastards though. They were people who just had
Whatever,
like,
you know what I mean?
like latent. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he was cool with that. He wasn't
No,
cool with
see-
the idea of getting anybody that could potentially have the blood.
That's a big difference, though, and that's why
It is a
it
difference.
matters so much to Jace, because Jace is a bastard.
Correct.
So because of that, he can't have another bastard riding a dragon, because then that makes him irrelevant.
Well, in his
In
and
his
I was going to
mind.
say that and it's twofold for him. It's just like
Yeah.
it's a lot of embarrassment as well, because he knows Harwin is his father. He knows that it's been a big cover up his entire life. He know
Yeah.
he half blood, right? And similar to a word you use, Ben, not mongrel, but it's similar to another word
That
you use.
is-
He's not special anymore, right? And he
Aw.
does, when he is talking about the other bastards, he does call them mongrels with an S, so he's talking about multiple. And he says these people as well. He does it these people.
That nigga's racist as fuck.
It's definitely on a you hate what you are type stuff. Like you are one of these. You know you're not special. You know you could potentially be in the mix of all this. So he's already upset about all that, and that also could potentially create problems for him. Like he even says, like even just on some what's the word I'm looking for, logics and logistic shit. He says, well, what will stop one of these lowborns from coming up and saying that they should inherit the throne, right? You know, and Rhaenyra, and he's just like, we're literally going through a fucking war because of this bullshit about succession. And now you're going to put in the same problem again. You're going to engineer the same problem for the next generation. So when he was like, when you die, what's going to happen? Who's to say that these lowborn might not pop up and be like, well, fuck Jace. You know, he got black hair. I got white hair.
Big porn star over here is already talking about I will want for nothing again. He gonna
He did
leave
say
his
that.
wife. He gonna find him the silver. He gonna get that silver haired woman who ran off, and he gonna be like, all right, the throne's mine now. I got the biggest dragon. What?
He did say that.
Look, watch out for Hugh Hammer, boy. He laying it down out here.
Yeah, and yes, it's not this, like Jace's idea wasn't exactly the same as what's happening now. It's just it's kind of like it just kind of felt like a good idea that blows up in your face. Like
You's a bitch.
this is not what I meant. So, I don't. Why does Jace have to be a bitch? He's upset for his valid reasons.
No, I know. It just smacks
He's
of
trash.
racism. I'm
he
sorry.
was you know he was trashing that.
He was
Jay-
wrong
Jay-
for saying that, but he was upset.
Jay feels like a Mexican who votes for Trump, man. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, Jay feels like a full of self-hate, racist.
It's absolute self-hate. Yeah, he was anti-black. We know this. It's like, nigga,
Yes.
you one of us, so relax yourself.
Yeah, that's what I
Anti-black
mean.
and like he's an anti-strong. Like he's anti.
Yes.
Anti-strong, like
He's anti anything that ain't white.
anti-Targaryen.
That's
Stop
over
it.
here.
He's anti-Targaryen. It's just like, nigga, you one of us.
No, he down with the Targaryens. He just that's what I'm saying. He's down with them. That's who he's like, I'm Targaryen. Like he'll kill the other ones to be like to prove it.
Are
He'll
you think
slay
he's gonna
Hugh Hammer.
defect? Are you think he's gonna defect?
No.
He's gonna
But
still support his mother.
But if he could stab Hugh Hammer in the back, he would. Especially right now. Like, oh yeah.
I don't think Vermithor will allow that.
That's the point.
Vermax is gonna be lunch if that happens.
You done fucked up. That's right here. Like,
Portia, what are you thinking? You having this inquisitive look on your face?
I just think that I feel like as soon as Rhaenyra said "army of bastards," I knew this episode was gonna be foreshadowing of something that's gonna happen decades from now, and everything y'all just said layers the reasons why what happens decades from now happens. And I think I keep noting like there's two big things that happen that took the Targaryens dragons out of the running. One is what we're seeing right now, called the Dance of Dragons. And then there's a thing that happens later, and that's a whole bastard fight. So this is like setting up what happens decades later.
So basically, Jace was right. Is what you telling me? Jace was like, and I was like, I don't blame him. Like it was wrong, but you didn't have to say it that way, but you're not wrong. Like,
and also I have to say that I was right again because Rhaenyra's plans are going to lead to the destruction of her whole thing.
It wasn't okay, but let's put it this way: is my thing about Rhaenyra's moves is that she's moving exactly the way that Dragon Lords move. Like she's moving exactly the way that she knows how to hold power, and she's like, so it's like I like this whole episode. I think every episode, I keep being reminded about the parenting skills of Westeros. And like, because I was impressed.
It's in hell.
I was
The bar is in
impressed
hell.
by Oscar Tully. I was impressed by how like he knew, like his father might have been in a sick bed for a while, but he knew how to run,
handle himself.
the river run, like the whole river, like all the river lords, all of them. He knew exactly what to do. He knew what his strengths and his weaknesses were. He knew how to make it all like very impressive. That is what a liege lord is supposed to be able to do and pass on. Like if you're a highborn person, you're supposed to make sure your kids know how to run the crap if you're not around. And here we keep seeing the problem with the Targaryens is that they didn't prepare none of them kids to really do what they needed to do.
No, they prepared them to be people who hold a nuclear bomb and are willing to use it. That's what they prepared them for. It's like they
prepare them to be highborn and not necessarily
leaders. They don't prepare them to deal with the small folk or to get low.
Right.
You know, they don't care about the lowborn.
Yeah, listen, these lowborn. First of all, there were so many of these niggas. There were so many, and it's
not
just
anymore.
Leaving alone.
Not anymore, but there were so many, and it's just like, I keep saying, like, these are men. At the end of the day, they just fucking around and they sowing their seed all over the goddamn Westeros. Like, I was not surprised when it was like 50 of them pull up.
From King's Landing alone.
From King's Landing, right? Because remember, they was like, yo, probably in Dragonstone itself and other places. You know there's mad at them. And you know folks like Jon Snow and all.
Oh, can I do an aside real quick?
Yes.
That was the worst NBA draft of all time.
That was why did they send their fifth string hunchback of Notre Dame first?
He was the one who stood up first. He's the one who was
he walked out first, but why they allow that shit? Like, bro, just don't even. But
you never know with the dragons, though. You really don't. You really don't know with the dragons.
He looked scared like a motherfucker.
But I was like, Dreamfire picked Ulf of all the people, so you really just don't know with the dragons. You just don't. My aside is Hugh the Hammer when he talks about his parentage and how his mother was telling him how he was just as good as Viserys's brother's kid.
Yeah, so that's that's Auntie Viserys.
That is Auntie. That's his cousins is Daemon and Viserys.
Correct.
And just a little scoop about why his mother ended up having him illegitimately and all this stuff or whatever. So basically, she was the wild child of like King Jaehaerys, who's supposed to be the wisest king Westeros has ever known, and like his wife. Like, so they, speaking of Targaryens not raising their children well, basically that's what happened with them. So they like raised the first two kids to kind of be heirs, and then the rest of them they just kind of like, you're Targaryen, do what you need to do.
So that daughter became a hoe.
So she did.
Okay.
She was weak and pussy.
She did. I think she's the youngest. She's the youngest kid, and she's the youngest daughter. So she was like, there's 9 of them. So she was everybody else is older than her. She was over here running around.
Being watched.
She was not. She was running amok. And so her mother tried to they had to reprimand her because like she had a moment like Marjorie kind of like in Game of Thrones where it's like, have you been having sex with grown men that we haven't betrothed you to? Like, that we gotta tighten up. So they put her in a sept in Old Town and was like, oh, you're gonna.
They put her in a convent with the nuns. That's when you're a preacher's kid, you don't do that. You don't do that. That's a recipe for the exact opposite of what you want happening.
She lasted for about 1.5 years. People were like, they say like, well, maybe they weren't gonna let her stay there forever. We don't know. What we do know is homegirl bounced after 1.5 years over to Essos, ended up in Lice in a whorehouse wearing the garb of a septa, and that's why people would come to her because they were like that was their kink.
That was that?
And also they knew she was Hugh the Hammer said she had that white hair Targaryen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that she was like a bastard of Targaryens. She was legitimately a Targaryen.
And just hoeing it out for coin.
Right. And her father disowned her. Her mother wanted her back, but she never got any replies to messages she sent to her. And then she ended up owning her own place in Volantis. So that's how she made her coin, was she became the madam and she ended up taking over or whatever, a different spot.
Gotcha.
And whenever
in Volantis?
In Volantis.
The best little whorehouse in Volantis? Come on, man.
I mean, this goes back to what I was saying. Like, these people have strong Targaryen ties. They're not third, fifth removed cousins. These are like your cousin, your first cousin, Auntie them.
She said, "I'm gonna be queen hoe."
Oh my
And she
God.
said that too. She legitimately, they were like, whenever they were having the tussle over who should be next in line, whenever Viserys was kind of like pulled into being over Rhaenys, they were like, why don't you go back over and try to claim the throne? And she was like, I'm already the queen over here. Why would I go over there?
I called it. She said,
What's her name? Do you know her name, Portia?
Her
Hugh
name?
Hammer's mother.
Yeah, her name is, I want to say Sarah. I'll
That's
double
why
check.
this nigga got a porn star name.
Yep.
For the streets.
I just love that, like, okay, yeah. Her name is Sarah Targaryen.
Sarah Targaryen. Okay.
And her sex scandal was at 16, so they did not know what to do with her.
Sarah the
16.
nun and Hugh Hammer. Jesus Lord.
Sweet 16 over here, boy.
Jesus Lord have mercy. Okay. So all of this, 50 of them, and we all knew Korean barbecue was on, right? We all knew that was happening, right? But first of all, for me, when they walked in, I'm like, they look like candlesticks.
These niggas are so petty.
65
These
of them.
dragons are so petty. I love it.
And then the way Vermithor was just toying with them, like all of that bullshit and pomp and circumstance he was doing for Rhaenyra, you know, everything looking cute, like, and everyone was trying to like kind of being calm, like, okay, maybe we have a chance here. As soon as Rhaenyra left, Vermithor was like, "I."
Rhaenyra knew she was cruel for that one, but also like I feel like with Vermithor and the sound effects that they made with Vermithor, like when he first came down, the noises he was making, you're like, okay, is he gonna be hostile to Rhaenyra in front of all of them? Like this is gonna be like crazy because he's making the noises like he might pull out some flame, and then he was like chilling, and she was like, oh, old Valyrian, it's me, we're here, and he's like, okay. All right, I might entertain this. I feel like he was entertained by being brought so many possible lunches,
so many snacks,
so many candles for his birthday cake. Happy birthday, Vermithor!
The way that she called him down and was like, "Hey, I need you to like work with me here," and he was like, "I'll work with you," because he brought me some snacks. Okay,
these dragons are smart as
but
fuck.
it's also like he's like, "Nigga, you didn't sing my song. Where are my niggas?" You know what I mean? This is not how we do this. But fuck it,
right. That's not how we do this. You gave me. Vermithor looked down and said, "What is this ghetto shit that you brought to me? This shit was ghetto. Like you said, you ain't say my lamentations. You ain't throw no roses.
A white refrigerator.
Ghetto. And they people pay for it. You saw what he did to the other nigga, Darkland?
Yeah,
baked potato.
But whenever Vermithor, so like Rhaenyra is so cruel because homegirl, as soon as she's like, she said, okay, after, because I wrote it down because the way she said it was hilarious to me. She said, I have nothing else to tell you. It must be the dragon who speaks.
She gave them this speech basically about y'all finna die. I got no tips for you. Good luck to you. See you later.
But that's it. It wasn't like that at first. When they were up there, she's like, we're going to go see this dragon.
Yes,
you know, one of you's going to get to ride it. Then she gets down there like, y'all figure this shit out for yourselves, Holmes.
While she was up there, she was telling them, oh, you know, it's a noble cause. And,
yeah.
And she says, but you know, you may not come back from this. That was her last words. And she said, now let's go see Vermithor.
Right.
I said, yo, like if someone gives me that speech and then says, you might not make it. Now let's go see it. It's just like, thank you for basically telling me I'm about to be gone. Like, it's a wrap for me. It was clear as a wrap for me. And then what you said, Portia, just reminded me of the other thing I wanted to mention about Rhaenyra knowing it was cruel. It's just like she knew it was a long shot. She knew it was cruel. You know how you always explain to us that when the Maesters tell the stories about what has happened, it always differs and people got different opinions and bias and whatnot. I could see this becoming a story about, Rhaenyra sent all the bastards and all the would-be challengers down there to get flamed up. Just so that
she did.
I know, but I mean purposefully for the sole purpose, though. Not because she was trying to find a writer. I could see a Maester saying, for the sole purpose of getting rid of all challenges. You know what I mean? Like, they will say some shit like that. Like, yo, Rhaenyra the cruel. She ran them down there and blew them up. You know what I mean? Like, look, I can see someone making that the story.
You can kill two birds with one stone, fam. You know what I mean? She
that part. And I was like, Jace, don't be mad. she got rid of them for you. You can't be mad, Jace.
And it's funny because he was noticeably absent. Like, it was Rhaenyra and the other current dragon riders. So it was Baela and Adam. Yeah. And it was like, but Jace was noticeably absent.
Jace was up in his room crying.
Yeah,
he crying.
Tucked under the covers.
Over here drafting an angry manifesto about Daemon and like why he's. Anyways,
I hate Daemon.
If only Daemon were here, this would never happen. Anyways, so like. I also like for me, like the whole arrangement of it all, like the calling for the people to come, like sneakily and stuff like that, like and from King's Landing, and then like bringing them all to one place, giving them that speech, all of that. It felt very much like put yourself in a place of like the beginning of a like fantasy book. Where like the common person finds out that they're going to be a dragon rider. Like this feels like a fantasy story. Like if you're a main, like you're having your main character moment, you're getting chosen by a dragon. It's all. It feels like something that you would feel like you would see in any fantasy story. So to have this queen suddenly talk to you, like it's your first time in a castle, your first time talking to nobility, probably, and then the queen talks to you about riding a dragon. They were probably all hyped and excited. And then they walk into the actual chamber of the dragon and she's interacting well with him. So they think maybe I have a chance.
She walked them into Jurassic Park. They knew.
It was a horror movie. It went from like it went from fantasy origin story to horror movie so quick.
But it's also like it's George R. Martin's typical thing because it's like imagine, the pulling of Excalibur. A bunch of people line up and pull for Excalibur. But in George R. Martin version, when you don't pull it out, you turn to stone. It's just that's the difference here. It's like you fail, you die, and then the one person pulls out, or two people pull out dragons out of this. But back to that point, like the whole, Rhaenyra the Cruel it's tomato at this point. Whether or not you sent them all down there to eliminate your competition or you sent them down there to find two dragons, you sent them all down there, and the majority of those people died, and the majority of people have families, etc. Which word is going to get back? It's like there's going to be repercussions for this. Just like you did great PR last episode. Now your PR, they over here tearing down the drop in the streets, and when they get this drop about how you cook these niggas, Supreme ain't gonna be as hot in the streets anymore.
You're right.
But is it going to be about how they got cooked, or is it going to be about how she gave common folk the ability to claim a dragon?
It could be either way.
It's all how you put it, folks.
Right, right.
You got to get Mysteria out there.
Right.
You got to get Mysteria out there on the,
exactly.
start shoving in that shit. But I do want to say that, like, Portia, you mentioned the sound design and everything. And two things about that. One, I have to say that Vermithor is even more petty, or I guess more hungry than Sea Smoke was, right? Because Sea Smoke just put that. Yeah, for me, he's much bigger. So, because Sea Smoke cooked them niggas and just bounced. Was like, fuck y'all.
Right.
I'm good. This nigga cooked niggas and then ate them. And what I also loved about that was just as I'm watching the scene and these niggas are screaming, I'm like, nigga, just shut the fuck up. And the Vermithor would just shut them the fuck up. Like he would light them on fire, and they'd be like, ah! And then he's like, ah! And it's just like it goes silent. Like the sound design again was pure perfection because that scene was like you don't even have to watch it, you just hear it and it's terrifying.
Yeah, it was giving Quiet Place. I loved it. It was just like I felt terrified for them. Like y'all are going, and to your point, Ben, the deaths was ridiculous. Like people who didn't even get flamed, they just got knocked off the platform and bang back broken type shit. Like crazy. And
then that nigga intentionally was knocking niggas off too.
Right,
like,
intentionally.
Was like, I'm getting all y'all niggas.
That's why I was so cold. He was intentional. Vermithor was intentional about it. And then I really, actually, I'm sorry, it's morbid, but I enjoyed how he ate them niggas that was on flames. He did the whole s'mores on the nigga, and like you could see the person engulfed in flames going down Vermithor's throat. Like I was like, this is incredible. That's why I said, I ain't never seen no shit like this. I love this show. So, oh my God, I love this show.
Yeah, no, those shots of Vermithor, like you were talking about the Jurassic Park shot when the camera's moving all around and he's crouched behind the boulder. It's just some amazing cinematography on this show right now.
and understanding the scale of which, like when they say a dragon, my guy.
Yes.
Like again, we were talking about the show pony dragon. When we're talking about a real life, real ass dragon, right? Like,
and Vermithor looks good. That's why I like him. Like Vhagar look beat. You know what I mean? Vhagar look like an old ass.
Vhagar, she look old. She an old girl.
We can't be a little too hard on Grandma.
She said not too much on. She said not too much on.
I get you, but when new shiny, new hotness roll up. Well, yeah, when new hotness roll up, you gotta let it be known. And Vermithor that new hotness.
Now you sounding like Cersei's prophecy, like like a new queen will come to take your place, and
that's how it be. And I'm sorry. I go back to dragon design. Vhagar's an ugly bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the other ones look cute.
Sorry. That nigga look like that beat up Godzilla from the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie. Like that nigga look beat.
It just no. And I like how Vermithor came out the darkness. Like you just heard.
That was fine.
You just heard it. You couldn't see nothing, and then just the outline, like in the head. Yeah. Oh my god! Like that was
beautiful.
I'm mad y'all are coming for Vhagar's face card and saying like
Vermithor face card never denied.
Vhagar has a rush card, okay? Decline. There's nothing going on there, okay? Not a damn thing.
Yeah, because even Sea Smoke way prettier. Like Vhagar is definitely the ugliest of the dragons. I'm sorry.
Like, I'm sorry. I don't care.
It ain't even close. Like that nigga's not in the contest. Like he does not make the beauty contest.
You fucked up.
You stay at home.
You're done.
You better hope for a fairy godmother to come around and fix your ugly ass.
Card.
Your sisters is over at the ball.
Insufficient funds. You ain't got no money.
You upstairs swabbing the decks while your sister's at the ball.
Daemon Targaryen. This nigga ain't never leaving Harrenhal. Like he's just
this nigga and Luigi's Mansion 1, 2, and 3.
Alice Rivers said, "You finna die here," and I'm just believing. It's been like 10 episodes. This nigga's never leaving.
This nigga gonna die like an 88-year-old man there. For clear reasons, but also he does every time we see him, something like he's doing something in real life, then he falls into a dream. Is this nigga's just in a constant dream state? Like he could just be sitting on a rock somewhere, and Caraxes is just poking him like, "Nigga, you gonna wake up?" Like nothing could be happening right now. You know what I mean? Like he is just done. I like that he got what he deserved in terms of how he was treated this episode when it comes to young Oscar Tully. My nigga. Going for his Oscar. The side-eye king.
Oscar the Grouch?
That nigga's side eyes was incredible.
All day Oscar. The way he big bro Daemon. He said, "You sure about that? Do you feel in charge? Do you want this army or nah?"
Where does the power lie? Where does the power lie? In the room, and Daemon never really seems to learn. Where does the power... So you can bluster all you want, Daemon. But where does the power actually lie?
Mm-hmm.
And you talking about being king consort and everyone being like, "Sir."
Like
they keep correcting
Simba, you just can't wait to be king all day. We're not here for that.
And
we're here for right now.
Showing him that all these titles don't fucking matter, guy, because we don't like you. They said, "We do not fuck with you musically. We don't. I don't like you. I have no love for you." Like they said that to him 30 fucking times over and over again.
They said that he made the queen look weak.
You made the queen. You fucked up my brand. Understand? And like we her followers, we her supporters. You not part of the Swifties right now. You not part of us.
No friendship bracelet for you.
Like nothing at all. And Ben, you said it earlier when you was just like how Oscar, he understands how to, or maybe you said it, Portia, too, just he understands how to lead. He understands like how to make it happen. And the fact that all this time Daemon was playing him like, "Oh, you don't know shit. Oh, you young. Oh, you this, or you that." And Oscar played him like a fucking fiddle.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like, okay. Because remember, he was even talking back to Daemon, when they was in the room by themselves, he was like, "Well, remember you said that, I don't know shit. Remember you said this. Remember you said that." You know what I'm saying? Like he was using his own words against him. And then in front of the River Lords, he was just like, yeah, like he was playing his hand very well.
So smooth.
Very
But he was
well. He
like,
had the big joker.
yeah, because the big joker was right there because he told my man, oh yeah, you are my dude. You gotta serve me. Get on your knees, put your sword out. But
But
even though you serving me, you gonna have to get served.
But you know what I mean? Like he understood he because he was raised right, he understands the power, like you said, where the power lies. He understands the power of tradition and the power of how to rally the people with him, for or against someone, right? So just that whole thing was masterful. That whole conversation was masterful. Just the way Oscar positioned himself and just said, look, this is what I believe. We're gonna be loyal to Rhaenyra and her consort. However, some grievances gotta be corrected. Some grave errors gotta be corrected. And Daemon had nothing. Once again, another person with no moves. What was you gonna do?
Is this the first time we've seen Daemon have to actually move with the consequences of his actions? Like being held to task and accountable for his actions?
That's actually a good question, Portia.
Well, I think he's being held this whole season, but this is the culmination of it, I would say.
But it's like directly. Like you
Yeah,
can't walk away from this.
not like a dream.
Like in this moment, you gotta go fix this right now.
Can't
like
jersey your way out of these rounds.
Manifestation of everything coming to a head. Yeah, I think you're right, Portia. I ain't never seen this before.
Also, in that dream, that was Viserys.
That was Viserys. That was Crypt Keeper Viserys.
After planning?
Yeah.
Man, he looked better. Like I say, he looked pretty vital, even with Crypt Keeper Viserys. Like,
you think so?
He looked better. Yeah, like dude, like
maybe
after
better
like lost some weight or something. I don't know. Like he just looked more like.
But I think he was more animated. Like
he was more animated.
Last season, he was like more like he was falling apart.
Over, yeah.
But because he's his dream self, he can be more.
He was like, he was like straight up like, I'm dead, but I'm here, nigga. That was good.
Like he had the face that scared, like the Daemon. What Daemon holds in his head about like where his brother ended up, like how he fell apart. He has that.
He has that image.
He also has the brother energy that he grew up with. So he had that's Daemon.
So he has the energy.
Daemon having him in his head.
And in the dream, Ben, Viserys is something you said last week, which was just about like the weight of the crown and how that crushes you, and how Aemon was physically crushing Aegon, with the weight of the crown and all that stuff. And Viserys repeats that. He says the weight of the crown will crush you. He never even wanted it. And Daemon, you've wanted it this whole time. You still want it, right? Like, is it worth it all, right? And these dreams and these visions, like, besides this being probably the first time, like he's getting a consequence of his actions, at what point does he wake up?
I just enjoyed the juxtaposition of the crown crushing people and it crushing like Daemon and the weight of it, like in his mind of does he actually want it? And then immediately panning over to the crown crushing someone else, which is Aegon. Like, and him being in a crushed position because his brother also wanted the crown. Right. Like that whole, like the crushing is mirrored and one generation removed, like right after the other.
I have a question too about the crown, and I could be tripping, but when they zoomed in a little bit on the crown, was it facing on the wolf side? Like it looked like it was facing on the dire wolf side. Because you know how like the crown, I believe the crown had the sigils of all the different houses or something like that. It looked like an outline of a wolf. I could have been making that up, but it just felt like that's what I seen. I don't know. Leave that for the side.
I had to look at Viserys because I know Viserys' crown is a very particular crown.
Okay.
And I remember things about it and I forget them. But I will say that there were multiple things that were in this episode that reminded me of, like, again, we still haven't seen the Starks enter the fight yet. And
the old beards, the gray beards, sorry. The old heads.
Where they kept, because like Sir Rickard is a name that's typically held in the North. So whenever we haven't spoken about this yet, but Alicent, her like knight, she calls him Sir Rickard, and I'm like, is he from the North over here defending Aegon's claim? And then I had to look it up, and I was like, okay, no, because like, it's typically a Northern name, and maybe his family came from the North or whatever, but it's not initially, like, he's not from the North.
That nigga is George Clooney.
Yeah.
Like, you call that other dude George Clooney, but Rickard is George Clooney Jr. Like,
he shows up that actor shows up in so many stuff. I keep forgetting.
That's the first time I've seen him. I remember because I'm like, this dude looks so much like George Clooney. I was confused for a second. But
yeah, not to
let's
go off on that. But yeah, there might be something in that the wool side showing, and also like Rickard like being in the same episode, like about this like some kind of like note about the Starks being appearing at some point, basically.
Well, and that's why I thought I saw what I saw, but whatever.
And on that mirroring, let's talk about Alicent and her going to swim in the water.
Her having her mental breakdown.
And her also, her getting swum up and stuff, get purified in that water. And then cutting to Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Like, we've talked before that, her love for Rhaenyra might be deeper than just a sisterly love. It might be, more of a, wanting to get up in them guts love. And
romantic love. Not guts, Ben.
So, she's swimming up in them, dreaming of Rhaenyra, and then we cut to Rhaenyra.
I mean, it's a very complicated love. Like, I absolutely think it's beyond just friendship. And we've seen this telegraphed since they were kids, right? Like, it's so complicated just in the fact of what they're both fighting against, what they both fight for and with. That they both have similar battles against patriarchy. They both have similar battles against themselves, battles with their own family, skinfolk and kinfolk type shit. Like, it's insane. And, Alicent said a really pertinent line in this episode. She said, "Nothing is clean here."
Mm-hmm.
And then the rats walking around eating dirt and shit is dirty. She got everything. Everything's wrong.
I didn't mention this last week, but when she got cut, I really thought that was a mirror of Viserys, and his little injury, and then it growing into something much worse.
It could be.
So, but I think her getting out of the castle is going to prevent that from happening. I think that's
probably.
I don't think Alicent is having a mental breakdown as much as Alicent is just realizing what is up against her, especially in that castle. So she's like, I can't.
So you just not realizing this?
It's getting worse. Like with Daemon, everything gets progressively worse, And so now it's like I've got nothing. I can't bring my handmaidens. I can't bring a retinue. I can only bring this one cat, and then I got to go and I got to go eat, pray, and love out here and try to figure this shit out because shit's getting real.
She told Sir Rickard they ain't never going home. And he was like, "God damn it!"
He's like, "Woman, I'm out here cutting up rabbits and shit. Like, I was at least in the castle, of my bed at night. Like,
oh my god, he was sitting there like, for real, we gotta keep going camping out here. Like, I guess
he was like, "You are in a lean-to, lady. You are in a Eeyore situation. We are not even doing a full tent experience.
Yeah.
Not a cabin, nary a fire. And what was she contributing to that? She was just like, I'm gonna lay here.
Them cats be bringing out them tents that have rooms in them. Like on the Game of Thrones, they show you they got
like big ass rooms. Yeah. No, they was in the low-born tents for sure. I wasn't here last week, but like that was fucking surprising to me about the whole thing with the son. I was just like, you got another son where the one that is back in Old Town or whatever, and that's the one y'all said that now he got a dragon. His dragon's now. Well, is it really ready, or is just like it just decided this? It's mad young, right? So it just started flying.
It's probably the same. If it's rideable, then it's probably like the size of Bela's dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it could do something. Might.
Oh, it can do. I mean, it's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
Bela's dragon is still a problem. It might not be a problem to Vhagar, but it's a problem to anybody running around on the streets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I like the symbolism that you mentioned though for been about like where Alicent is internally and like the cut and like having to get away from like the impurities of the castle, like it's dirt, everything is dirty here, and then like her like living like a small folk, and then the like irony of her trying to live like a small folk after she just came from being attacked by the small folk for being higher than thou.
That's a good
small folk.
Yeah, that's a good.
And I also like it because she still sees herself as right.
She does.
That was interesting. Like she
which
still
is wild.
But again, to me, it's not that wild because Rhaenyra is just as problematic when it comes down to it. Like, if you are willing to use dragons at this level, then you are willing to do anything. And Alicent, is just out here like both of them. Rhaenyra has a complex. Alicent has a complex of being denied. Rhaenyra has a Messiah complex. Alicent has a complex of feeling like she's just as worthy as
Alicent's in denial for sure.
Yeah. But
I think Alicent is no.
Rhaenyra is in denial that she's like following this Messiah complex. She's really like, I'm good and right. And
She is though, but like we have proof on paper that she is right.
no, we don't. What we have is somebody telling her a story that you should be queen. And our line should be, because we have to eventually stop the White Walkers. That's why she does everything she's doing, because of this story.
It was pronounced across the kingdom. It wasn't like it was
Yeah,
just
but that's
small...
once again, I go back to what happens. It doesn't matter. I don't give a damn, man, woman, child. When somebody says you're going to be king, somebody else should say, fuck that nigga. You know what I mean? So it's how you react to that once it goes down. And how she reacted to that once it goes down is interesting.
I just feel like it's all natural to like inheritance of big seat. Like it's gonna like this is all what
there's gonna be drama.
If someone challenges your seat, you're gonna go with them all guns. You're not gonna come with them with like
you gotta come with no. Well, look at people like Cersei. People challenge her seat and she blew them niggas up in a crypt. She made moves. That's what I'm saying. It was like moves like I'm just saying, like it looks good right now. That's what I keep saying. Everything Rhaenyra does, that's why everybody cheers for her. But I'm looking ahead, and we're gonna see a whole fucking nuclear bombs and blowing up Hiroshima, Nagasaki, New York City, Houston, everywhere else in a second.
Well, in your own logic, you don't think that was wrong that Cersei blew up a sept full of other people, including her challengers?
Yes.
You don't think that looks crazy too?
Cersei, and in the end, we saw what happened to Cersei. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Rhaenyra is going, and Rhaenyra's going down the same path that Daenerys went down. It sounds good, but you got to listen to what they're saying. Rhaenyra said, let me finish. Daenerys said, I'm going to break the wheel. That sounded great when we were watching it. But then what does that mean? She says, I will do anything to get this throne back. What does that mean?
I just think that we went into this knowing it was going to be a tragedy, and so
I don't think a lot of people know that. I think a lot of people, because that's something that's people don't appreciate media like that, and because 99% of stories told in media are comedies or in the comedic form, like we talked about last week. I don't think people realize what a tragedy means, in terms of storytelling. That is going to end on a down note because people don't see that. It's so rare. Like I've talked about on the show, the Infinity War is one of the only ones that I can think of in modern times, and that has endgame, so it's really even not a tragedy. But to see as something that ends where our protagonist fails is something we don't see often, or if it's a tragedy where the protagonist is actually the villain, we don't see that much either. That was Infinity War. The protagonist was the villain of the story. He won. But what he won was the destruction of the universe.
I do agree that we don't, at least in mainstream media, we keep Vermithor keeps cutting Benhameen's wires. You know what?
It's probably Vega because she came for her face card and she's like, "Y'all gonna play with me today? Not today."
I do agree, Ben, that in general media, mainstream media, that we don't see that a lot on a larger scale. Not to say, because there are stories out there that are absolute tragedies, but maybe on the largest scale where the most people see. You're right that. We don't see a lot, so people may not be in tune that that's what's happening. Yeah. However, also people do understand like what happens when the family feuds, right? In multiple stories, any story you could think of from time immemorial, when it becomes an infighting situation, it ends up a tragedy. And it ends up nobody winning. So I wouldn't doubt that people know where this could potentially lead to. Do they want it to go down that path? No, but I'm also not going to doubt that the audience, everyone watching, is going to be like,
No, I don't doubt that everyone, but I think a lot of people don't, and I think a lot of people just like it's the same thing. Because that was the thing. That's what when people watch Game of Thrones, people were so surprised by Daenerys' turn. While Daenerys' turn was rushed,
it wasn't well written.
Well, it wasn't.
Beyond the point. Y'all gotta let me finish this shit because it's like I said that I know it's not well written. It was very rushed. But if George R. Martin ever finishes these books, it's going to end with Daenerys burning up shit. Because she said she's going to do that from the jump. She never denied that. And her actions all the way leading up to that were always minor versions of that.
I was going to say, and I don't think it sounds like you're saying that like the primary audience is expecting Lion King when this is all set up for Hamlet.
People were doing that when Game of Thrones happened. Like people are like talking about how it's going to end with Jon Snow and Daenerys having kids and their little dragons floating around their heads.
That's also the Song of Ice and Fire fandom. But that's also the Song of Ice and Fire fandom because they've been looking at theories for years and years and years before the show ever had come out. Yes. So they put together 2 + 2 = 4. And then they had like pitched this out in the world.
Fandom, not the mainstream.
But that's what that is the mainstream.
Picked it up.
That is the fandom mainstream. And then what I'm saying is people don't get like that Daenerys was not on that path. You know, and just like Rhaenyra is not on that path where it's gonna be some yay, peace in it, you know, that's not the ending.
It's gonna be Hamlet, it's not gonna be Lion King. Like
no, and people
like the actual story that Lion King is based on, tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Lion King itself.
No,
we just can't wait to be king.
And people think it's all, you know, and that's what I'm saying, because people are trained, and because people are trained to follow a protagonist as a hero, you know, and I keep saying it, and people just, you know, I keep making this point because it's a very important point that I feel like people are just denying, and also like y'all say, because y'all want to side with Rhaenyra, and people are bloodthirsty. There's the other side of it where people like seeing the drama and the action.
Yeah,
you know?
That's why I watch Game of Thrones, because I like dramatics and the messiness.
I like dragons seeing cook niggas. But I also know on the large scale when they start cooking niggas, that's why I always say Biggie Smallfolk, you know, Shorty got low folk, you know, local. Gotta watch out for them.
And you know, the fun thing is that like with that consideration, we also have Smallfolk riding dragons. So what happens when talking about power? What happens when the small person has the power of a nuclear warhead? And
Hugh Hammer is a problem, fam. That nigga is about to. I told y'all that nigga's like, oh, word wife. Fuck out of here. Okay. You know, like if you're willing to leave your wife like that, you're willing to do a lot of shit.
I mean, yeah, Hugh could be a problem. I don't trust Ulf in the sense that he's an oaf. Like just he don't have no real skills besides just running his mouth. So granted, you can probably teach someone, you know, how to train your dragon in 10 days, but it's also just like, you know what you doing? Like you saw even him, he was like on a bull. Like he was riding the bull over King's Landing. Like that shit looked like, I don't know. I don't trust his abilities, right? And then and also I don't know if he's not brave. At least from what I've seen, he's not brave. Can he man up? Possibly. Is he an actual brave person who can fight on behalf of, in the name of Rhaenyra? I don't know. I could see that happening with Hugh, not so much with Ulf.
For Hugh, I would just want to name the fact that Homeboy was the only person that we saw stand up to the dragon and be like, "You can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch." But his initial thing was like, "I'm ready to die anyway. Take me."
Right.
Yeah.
And then after after the dragon kept waiting, he was like, "Wait a minute. You can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch. I got this."
Yeah.
Something about that changeover and like confidence and like Vermithor like recognizing like him in that way, and Vermithor being that big dragon the way that he is, and like bowing to, or like cowing to Hugh.
Yes.
I think that the way that he was been set up off so far in the story, because wasn't he the one? It wasn't Ulf. It was him who snatched groceries from somebody as they were trying to come back.
Yes.
We know
he's a grimy nigga.
Is not like he's not just an honorable kind of man. Like there's more to him than like the little like family man storyline that we've gotten so far. And the fact that like the resentment that he named and having his mother and how he always resented her. There's something under the like layers with Hugh that you
don't trust it.
I don't, and with Vermithor especially, I'm a little bit. I'm like, why did Vermithor choose him?
Yeah.
What was it that Vermithor saw in him, and what is that going to mean?
Vermithor saw a nigga who's ready to, you know, burn niggas, and he's like, "This is what I'm down to do."
That's all Vermithor want to do.
And eat niggas, and he's like, "This is the niggas that gonna get me the most niggas." So let's go.
Before we go, we didn't mention Daemon, you know, upgraded Daemon, but the main things he does, he sends the frat guard to the wall.
I gotta talk about that. The black man paying for the white man's crime. Like that brother didn't do shit. He wasn't even in the last episode, and this nigga's getting sent to the wall.
They said that they was part of the riot, so they
he wasn't there.
Why did he say he sent
them? We didn't see the full riot though.
Me neither. But why did he say he sent them? We would have
seen that black man there if he.
But because you know, one of them, the white one, is when he chopped the hand off and started the whole riot off in the first place.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's how the riot. Like that's why I got accused for that. Yep. But we didn't see the full riot. We didn't see because like in the books you do hear a bit more about what the King's Guard were up to against the Smallfolk during the riot, whenever Helena and them got to get...
There was a
Y'all keep
reason why
sticking
they
up for
showed
these
us.
racists.
There was a reason why they showed us, because it's technically inconsequential, but they showed us that whole situation with them getting the boot to the wall
Sent
for
to
a
the wall.
reason.
And also like the fact that like Aemond, unlike Aegon, is not gonna just string them up. You know what I'm saying? Like on a like the difference in the
You're gonna
brothers.
send them out personally.
Gonna send like you're gonna go serve the kingdom, but away from here. And then also what was my thought about like things that were not quite picking. Oh, also want to note how the small council for Aemond is at, or Aegon's small council currently under Aemond is working in a way that is clearly conspiring against him. Because whenever the first thing that we noticed of this is whenever like Lord Larys is staring out at these guys getting pulled to go to the wall or whatever, and the council member whose name I've not bothered to learn because I
just learned it
like
this week and then I forgot as soon as you said it. Yeah,
Oh,
they said it.
sorry.
I could
Sorry
tell
to
you
that
his name.
man.
I got his name.
But
Keep going.
Whenever he like goes, he walks up to Larys and he's like, I got word that there's a new dragon rider. And Larys is like interested, but also like you can see him weighing what does that
He's calculating.
Because he's like, one, why'd you come to me with this? Why didn't you go straight to Aemond yourself?
Right.
Two, is this reliable information in the first place? Because I know how I get my whispers on a regular basis. I don't know if I can trust you for whatever you're trying to peddle to me right now. Three, what is the power play that I can play here? What can I do with this? And in their conversation, we get to the point where we're understanding that this council member has less faith in Aemond than he has in Lord Larys in moving things. And he's willing for Lord Larys to be like, and that's the thing, it's like, we can't, you, as an audience, it's like, is it that this council member is afraid to step to Aemond with knowledge? Like he's afraid of what the consequences will be, how Aemond will react to him with this knowledge? Or is he actually playing a game where he's like, I don't want him to be aware of things at all?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Portia. And the councilman name is Lord Jasper. And another guy that's funny because, and I don't like what you're saying, because I was trying to figure out, was Larys like playing his mind a bit? Because he was just like, when he asked him, well, who gave you this information? How did you find out about this? And Jasper was like, well, my cousin sister's baby father, nail tech, told me, right? And when that happened, I was just like, he's trying to make him seem like he's an idiot, right? When this is important information, and Larys could probably spin it some other way. Like, Larys, I think people recognize where you said, where does the power lie? Like, who's actually holding the strings and and at least in the back, who's holding the reins, right? Like, who's really making moves happen? And they all recognize, they're not saying it, but they recognize, and they do agree with Alicent, even though they played her, that you can't, Aemond is too wild. Aemon's a wild boy. Like, he's about destruction at the end of the day, and this is not going to go good for anybody, and he needs to be curbed. So there is, to your point, there is a lot of conspiring going on within the small council. Absolutely.
And I think whenever we see the scene of, that's one conspiratorial thing. The second conspiratorial thing that was in this episode was how the Grand Maester was talking to Lord Larys and not with Aemond about Aegon's guess like his like routine, like how they're trying to like get him back into his like shape where he can be part of the council. And Larys was like, he has to be ready soon. And that is after he got the information about there being a new dragon rider. Yeah. So there is, again, like, why is the Grand Maester is it from the goodness of his heart that he's like, I just want Aegon to heal and I know Aemon will kill him as soon as possible? Or is there actually conspiratorial, like, I think that Larys is doing what's needed for the throne and I would trust the work of the council under Aegon more than I do under Aemond, and this is what I'm working for? So again, they're conspiring against Aemond, and what does Aemond have in place for his council not being on his side? Because I don't know if Aemond is planning and plotting in that way. And we see it come to a head when Homeboy flies over King's Landing. We hear those dragon sounds. The rest of the council, I think that Aemond clocked. The rest of the council doesn't look surprised to hear dragon. He's surprised to hear dragon, but the council is not surprised to hear dragons flying around King's Landing. That's not Aegon or any of the other Targaryens currently in King's Landing. So I think Aemond, this is the first time Aemond is getting clued in, possibly, that the council is not for him. And he's going to move accordingly with the clues that he's starting to pick up.
Well, his according move to this time was to turn the fuck around, because when he rolled, when he tried to pull up on Dragonstone and saw them extra dragons, he said, "Oh no," he wasn't ready for that. So I think it's exactly what you're saying. Like the pieces is coming together real fast, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. And also, where the fuck is Otto? Otto, Kris Jenner, where is he?
Out with the other son. He's about to come back with that dragon.
Is he gonna come back next episode?
If not, yeah, I'd probably say next episode. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else for this episode that we haven't talked about? Aegon becoming Viserys.
Man.
All this stuff. All right. We got one more episode.
Mm-hmm.
Portia, you had said early on, you were just like, they could potentially do this whole story in like one more season or a season and a half, some shit like that. We're not gonna. Are we about to see a big death tomorrow? Not tomorrow, but next week.
Let's wait. No, let's not do that, because people are already accusing us of too much, leaning from the books. Let's
but like, to be fair, what they have set up, I thought they would be somewhere. I thought they would give us a big death this final episode
today, or the next
final episode. I thought this season, I thought they would give us like a big death turn, but they really slowed stuff down in a way that I really am not sure what we potentially could get next week. I know, like, in my brain, like three episodes ago, I'm like, if they keep moving at a regular pace, we could get to a major death. We're not moving at that pace, so
they slowed it down.
We may not get that. We may not get that major death until the end of next season, and that's not even the end of the story. So,
damn. Okay, so we're back where we started. Basically, we're still in Harrenhall. Thank you. All right. So I don't know what's about to happen next week, but I know that we will be here talking about House of the Dragon season 2. Thank you, everybody who has joined us, has been listening, has in the chat, rooting for us, yelling at us, whatever it may be. Just keep it cute. Make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube, youtube.com/ForAllNerds TV. Make sure you're following us all over the interwebs on socials at ForAllNerds or Castle Black Pod. You can also follow us individually. I'm Tatiana King. This gentleman who is the writer of Jimi Hendrix graphic novel, he is DJ Benhameen. Look at that beautiful purple haze graphic novel. Portia, your Portia knows, right? Online. And then also make sure, if y'all enjoy everything that we've been talking about and y'all listening to us, tune in to us every week, please go to patreon.com/ForAllNerds to support us as patrons. You can also go to ForAllNerds.com to pick you up a t-shirt. We have incredible merch, just as my Gucci Mandalorian shirt right here. Benhameen, you have some words about your beautiful book.
Yes, I do. I'm currently at San Diego Comic-Con right now, where we just debuted Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze, and this is the first time, as you see, that I am holding a copy in my hands. And if you happen to be, by the time you hear this, San Diego Comic-Con will be over, so that really won't matter. But August 27th is the release date. It is official. The books are being printed. We've got mad copies already. So it will be out August 27th. And August 27th, if you're in Brooklyn, we'll be doing a signing at Anyone Comics that night. So you can come out, get your book signed by me, talk to me about the book, all that good stuff. I've gotten some reviews from people who've read it already, and they're loving it. I'm really excited to actually see some official reviews, which should be coming in the next couple of weeks. So it's here, folks. It's really real. I've been talking about it forever, and it is now here. Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze. So if you haven't ordered yourself a copy, go ahead and order yourself a copy now, because it's coming August 27th. Hardcover. It's amazing. It's beautiful. The artwork, the colors, the pages, everything is incredible. It's better.
Can't wait to get my signed copy. I'm excited.
Yes.
And I will be there supporting you all the way. And shout out and love to Mellow Marketer, who is also the co-writer of Purple Haze.
Yep.
And that's it, y'all. Thank you so much. We will be back next week for the finale. I think we're going to be live, right?
Yes.
So,
God willing.
God willing. So, we will see you soon. Love you.
Peace.
up, internets and the fan fam? This is Tatiana King for ForAllNerds, and I want to thank you so much for listening and watching the ForAllNerds. Make sure you like and subscribe to us only on YouTube.